Good evening. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Putnam County Legislature. Tonight is September 3rd, 2024. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I recognize Legislator Goldman to lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. I recognize Legislator Agnizio to lead us in the legislative prayer.
We seek blessings on the tasks before us. Bless our efforts with clear insight, our deliberations with wisdom, our work with clarity and accuracy, and our decisions with impartiality.
Amen. Amen. Roll call, please.
District 1, Legislator Montgomery.
Here.
District 2, Legislator Goldman.
Present.
District 3, Legislator Agnizio.
Present.
District 4, Legislator Nasarino.
Present.
District 5, Legislator Elner.
Here.
District 7, Legislator Castellano.
Present.
District 8, Legislator Sage.
Present.
District 9, Legislator Crowley.
Present.
District 6, Chairman Young.
Present. At this time I call on Legislator Sage for the proclamation and 20th anniversary of the Putnam County Medical Reserve Corps.
Good evening. I invite Connie Buetti. She's a public health emergency preparedness coordinator. Dr. Michael Neshwat, who is our commissioner of health, and members of our MRC. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Susan Moore. I'm a member of the MRC, volunteers for about 14 years now.
And I'm Carla Taylor. I'm the MRC program assistant.
Welcome. Thank you for coming. So this evening we have a proclamation in light of the 20th anniversary of the Putnam County Medical Reserve Corps. Whereas the Putnam County Medical Reserve Corps, or known as the MRC, is a wholly volunteer program, founded in July 2004 and has been in existence for 20 years. The Putnam MRC volunteers build resistance and strengthen county public health emergency preparedness capabilities. They collaborate, engage, and train to keep skills current as possible for public health response entity. The MRC volunteers continue to maintain and improve overall county healthiness and preparedness by participating in various public health initiatives such as influenza clinics and educational activities. The Putnam County MRC volunteer services have proven a monetary and economic value to the county. Putnam County MRC volunteers rose to the challenge, worked on the front lines, selflessly donated their time and talents, supplemented the public health response, assisted in providing thousands of vaccines, and were instrumental in saving the lives during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now therefore, be it resolved at the Putnam County Legislature and the Putnam County Executive Kevin Byrne do hereby proclaim the 20th anniversary of the MRC and recognize the importance of this volunteer organization within Putnam County. Thank you so much for all your efforts, and thank you so much. A typo, we're going to send you a new one.
We are honored to accept such a beautiful proclamation on behalf of the MRC and this health department. Without the MRC, we would never have been as successful as we were during the COVID pandemic. And I, for one, am very grateful to this fine group of people that have donated their time to Putnam County. In fact, I've always said the most valuable asset we have on this earth is our time. And this fine group has decided to donate their time to the health department to help the people of Putnam County. And I thank you very much for that. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank Connie for doing an outstanding job orchestrating this fine group of people. Connie, you want to say a few words?
Thank you very much, Dr. Neshwat, Legislator Sage, and legislators. On behalf of the Putnam County Department of Health and the Putnam County Medical Reserve Corps, I am honored to accept this proclamation. It takes a team to work on public health efforts and challenges. The MRC is a dedicated and committed team and group throughout volunteers that have assisted us throughout the county with our public health efforts, and they have been invaluable. They do this with professionalism, with dedication, with enthusiasm, and selflessness. And they work alongside us at the Health Department. But the one thing that we do want to say about the Medical Reserve Corps is that they have an overwhelming sense of service to the county and to the community. So we are very grateful, and we try to thank our volunteers as much as we can, but having a proclamation in their honor is very, very appreciated, and we will let them know. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Can we take a picture?
Oh, you want me to get out?
No.
I should get it.
You guys are the stars.
Actually, can I bother you? Shannon, can you get in here, please?
Oh,
Shannon's
yeah,
also part of the
please.
health department. Get in
Oh,
here.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I'll call on Legislator Nasarino, recognizing Sheriff's Week, September 15th to the 21st, 2024.
Hello, Sharon Smith. Good evening. Proud to present the proclamation recognizing Sheriff's Week, September 15th through 21st, 2024. Whereas the Office of the Sheriff has been an integral part of the criminal justice system in New York State and in Putnam County throughout our history, having been established in the state's first Constitution in 1777 and continuing in every succeeding Constitution, and having been one of the original constitutional offices upon founding of our county. Despite the changes in its function, status, and powers during its long history, the Office of Sheriff has maintained a continuous existence, preserved its distinguishing heritage, and continued to be an essential component of our criminal justice community. The Office of the Sheriff has evolved into a modern, professional, full-service law enforcement and corrections agency, manned by well-trained police officers and correctional officers using state-of-the-art technology and applying the latest and most advanced theories and practices in the fields of law enforcement and corrections. As a constitutionally empowered office directly responsible for the people, the ancient Office of the Sheriff remains even today responsive and accountable to the public it serves. It is fitting to celebrate the historical contributions of the Office of the Sheriff and the significant role that the sheriffs play in our modern criminal justice system. Now therefore be resolved that the Putnam County Executive and Putnam County Legislature do recognize the important services provided to the citizens of this county by Sheriff Kevin McConville and members of the Sheriff's Office, and do hereby proclaim September 15th through 21st, 2024 to be Sheriff's Week in Putnam County. I just want to thank you personally for being such a wonderful sheriff and undersheriff, having a great command staff, and to the men and women who serve in law enforcement and corrections every day to protect the people of Putnam County. You all do a stupendous job.
Thank you very much, Legislator, and thank you for the proclamation and recognition. I'd like to thank County Exec Byrne, Chairman Yankee, members of the Legislature, but most importantly, I want to thank our deputies, investigators, and our corrections officers, our school resource officers, and our special patrol officers. They do the work each and every day. We're extremely proud of them, and we're happy to share this proclamation with them. So thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I call on Legislator Elner to recognize National Recovery Month, September 2024.
evening.
This is a proclamation for September to be National Recovery Month. Whereas behavioral health is an essential part of one's overall wellness, and preventing and actively addressing mental health and substance use disorders is essential to achieving healthy lifestyles. The recovery of individuals help improve their own health, the health of their loved ones, and of the entire community. To help more people achieve and sustain long-term recovery, the Putnam County Executive and the Putnam County Legislature invite all residents of Putnam County to participate in National Recovery Month. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Putnam County Executive and the Putnam County Legislature do hereby proclaim September 2024 as National Recovery Month, and together with the Putnam County Department of Health, the Prevention Council of Putnam, and the Putnam County Communities That Care Coalition encourage all Putnam County residents to observe this month with appropriate programs, activities, and ceremonies to support this year's Recovery Month.
Thank you.
Our dual recovery coordinator is Lauren
Yes.
Johnson.
And we're representing a couple people, so I have my notes here. So thank you to the Putnam County Legislature for your continued support and opportunities like these where we can normalize and celebrate recovery. Recovery can look very different for each person, and there's no one set of qualifications to be in recovery. There are many different pathways to recovery, and each journey is defined by each individual respectively. We want to celebrate not only the individuals in recovery, but the wonderful organizations here in Putnam County providing support and services to those seeking or those who are in recovery, as well as their families and their communities. And these organizations are not limited to those who are providing these direct treatment services, but also our local businesses, places like cafes, restaurants, auto body shops, and other wonderful libraries. We have a great library system that's been so supportive to us. Our schools who continuously work with us to create recovery-friendly environments. And to that point, it would not be me without adding an action item to this, a little call to action, right? And my kids in Somers, they had their first day of school today, so it's only appropriate that I give you guys a little homework assignment, right? So I want to put this into context. So I've been working with an individual who's early in their recovery, and they're at the point where they're looking to re-enter the workforce. So they gave me a call a little while ago after they had a job interview, and they were feeling really anxious and nervous that the re-entry to work might jeopardize their sobriety. So I said to them, I asked, is this a recovery-friendly work environment? And they immediately, without hesitation, said no, definitely not. So my ask to you is to take some time to think about your workplace, your family gatherings, your community associations, and think about how you can make these spaces more recovery-friendly. Are you balancing that Margarita Monday with a Wellness Wednesday, for example? Are you providing opportunities for networking and connection without the use of substances? These are really small things that we can all do to include those in recovery and make them feel welcome here in Putnam County. Thank you again for this proclamation, and together let's continue to foster a culture of understanding, compassion, and support for those in recovery. And for my partner, Victoria Metz, who can't be here tonight, she wanted me to announce that there is an Overdose Awareness Day event that's going to be taking place on Thursday, September 12th at Cornerstone Park, and we invite you all to join us. Thank you.
Thank you.
This time I call on Legislator Montgomery, recognizing the Putnam County Youth Bureau and Haldane School District on their youth-led 9/11 memorials.
Hi, how are you? Hello. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. So on September 11th, the peace and security of our nation was shattered by terrorist attacks that killed nearly 3,000 innocent people, some of whom were from Putnam County. Each year, the anniversary of the attacks is a sacred day both in Putnam County and throughout the country as citizens honor the memory of all who were lost on that day. Putnam County Youth Bureau recognizes the importance of introducing this tradition to the younger members of our community. The Bureau will host their 4th annual youth-led 9/11 memorial, where youth volunteers will commemorate the 23rd anniversary of September 11th attacks on our country by reading aloud the names of all who lost their lives on that day. I attended this event and it's very moving. I encourage everybody to go. This year, the Putnam County Youth Bureau, in partnership with Haldane Central School District, expands its reach by synchronizing youth-led memorials on both sides of the county to honor our fallen heroes. So Putnam County Executive and the Putnam County Legislature recognizes the efforts of Putnam County Youth Bureau and the Haldane School District and encourages residents of Putnam County to participate in the youth-led 9/11 memorials. The public is invited to attend the memorial at the Putnam County Bureau of Emergency Services, while the memorial at Haldane School District will be limited to students, faculty, and community officials. Thank you so much for extending it across the county. That's very meaningful, and it's a way to bridge and really teach our youth what that day meant, and I appreciate it. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Zoe Yunchai. I'm a senior at Brewster High School. Started today. So yeah, we just want to say thank you for the proclamation, and we invite you all to come to the 9/11 ceremony. It starts at 8:45 at the Bureau of Emergency Services building on September 11th.
Thank you.
Yep, and I just want to thank the county executive, county legislators for your support. We look forward to seeing you at this youth-led memorial. Most of the youth that have been planning the event obviously were not born on this day, so it's been an education for them as well as just being part of planning, and some will be reading testimonies. They'll be reading names of the fallen and the fallen who have recently passed away from complications. Unfortunately, we've had to add a name this year to our list. And we are fortunate to partner with the Haldane School. They were open arms for us to be part of planning that with our youth court members. So Putnam Valley students and Haldane students who are part of our Phillipstown Youth Court program will be over there reading names, reading testimonies as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Item number 4 is the acceptance of minutes. Regular meeting July 2nd, 2024, the regular meeting of August 6th, 2024, and the special meeting of August 20th, 2024. Item number 5 is correspondence from the county auditor. There was some activity. There was a refund of taxes in the amount of $890.53 in the Putnam Valley School District with no fiscal impact. Pre-filed resolutions. On behalf of legislators Castellano, Nasarino, and myself as chairman of the Personnel Committee, I'd like to move forward with item 6A. It's a fund transfer in the Sheriff's Department, corrections. It's to correct a personnel line. It's in the amount of $2,072 with zero fiscal impact. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
At this time, I recognize Legislator Nasarino, the chairwoman of the Protective Services Committee.
Thank you, Chairman Yaku. On behalf of myself, Legislator Diane Sage, I'd like to move forward with agenda item 6B, approval fund transfer 2014-223, emergency services. This is a request to fund temporary line to cover county fire instructor training for the remainder of 2024. And it is in the amount of $20,000 with no fiscal impact.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye. Agenda item 6C is approval to support the creation of the Rescue Task Force from the Bureau of Emergency Services. This resolution states that there exists in Putnam County a need for a rescue task force in order to support police, fire, EMS, and the community when sophisticated resources and specially trained personnel are required to assist residents and/or visitors needing rescue. This task force will comprise of volunteers from the county's fire departments and ambulance corps who have expressed interest in being part of such a task force. The Putnam County Sheriff's Department will assist in specialized training of the rescue task force to remove victims from danger, and the need to have a rescue task force is becoming increasingly important in order for Putnam County to be prepared in case of an incident. But in essence, this is a very much needed team that is being formulated and approved tonight. This is for our trained EMS personnel and firefighters to handle situations so that the police and first responders can do their jobs in the event of emergency. We will, once approved, be inviting back Michael Carney, Chief of the Putnam Lake Fire Department, who brought this initiative forward along with the Sheriff and Bureau of Emergency Services Commission, Robert Lipton. At the status report, there was presently 3 teams in place, from the Alpha team, which covered Putnam Lake, Brewster, and Patterson, the Bravo team, which covered Kent, Carmel, and Lake Carmel, and the Charlie team, which covered Phillipstown. There are 16 leaders and 2 for each team. We will get an update at the next meeting, but I'm very proud and very happy to move this forward because I really feel it's a very important, serves a very important purpose. And in event of emergency, we want those who need to respond, and we want those who need to help. So it's really a great concept. Thank you.
Discussion. Legislator Montgomery.
I have a question in light of what Legislator Nassarino commented on, and it's just in need of clarification, and it's something I explored while discussing this with the local departments in my district. Legislator Nassarino stated that the police, the fire, and the EMS, but the police are not part of this task force.
No.
So, okay, I just wanted to clarify that because you did include the police in your statement, and that's just something that I hesitate about with this. I would actually like to see the police involved in this task force. I get it that the police do different things. You know, more importantly, these departments will be taking care of the situations sort of outside of buildings, and the police go into the buildings. But I know from the Cold Spring Police Department and the police that represent my district, nobody knows Cold Spring, the buildings, the area better than the police. So if there is, in the event of, God forbid, an emergency, an event, active shooter, natural disaster, I would rely on the expertise of the local police for a task force like this. But I get it, all these things have to be worked out like this. I don't love putting this together before it's established. There's a lot of unknowns about this still, but I am in favor of it. I did speak to many of the leadership in my district of the fire departments, and they're eager for this too, so on that I will be supporting it.
Anyone else?
Just for clarification, I meant to say that this will reduce the burden on the police department, so maybe I misspoke. So.
Again, clarification, I believe that if it is a rescue task force, the police should be a part of it.
They will be there.
Well, then we're going to have a problem like we had with the other task forces where it's unclear who does what. So it would be great that we all work together.
They absolutely will work through the chair.
Oh, it's not in writing.
No, it says in the resolution, the Putnam County Sheriff's Department will assist in the specialized training of the rescue task force to remove victims from danger. The need for the rescue task force is becoming increasingly important in order for Putnam County to be prepared. So this is a collaborated effort for the benefit of safety and protection.
This resolution is in support of the idea. The nuts and bolts have not been worked out yet, and we're going to be discussing it in committee in the month of September.
Absolutely.
So,
Well,
yes.
I need to stress again, that's very different. Your scenario is very different from what would happen in an incident, and that's why it's important to be trained in incident command and the National Incident Management System, which we should all be using and all be trained for, because this will involve community members and leaders as well.
And you'll have a chance to bring that up in committee.
Absolutely.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. This time I recognize Legislator Sage, the chairwoman of the Health, Social, Educational, and Environmental Committee.
Thank you, Chairman Yankee. On behalf of Legislators Crowley and Goldman, I would like to bring forward agenda item 6D. It's for the approval of budgetary amendment for social services, Child Advocacy Center, to repurpose grant funding. The Commissioner of Social Services has requested a budgetary amendment to the 2024 DSS budget to repurpose grant funds previously allocated to a forensic interviewer that has been vacant for the majority of 2024 in the amount of $59,214, and there is no fiscal impact.
Discussion. All in favor?
Thank you. Agenda item 6E is the approval of budgetary amendment for social services for the co-response team crisis intervention specialist to use opioid abatement funds to purchase furniture, furnishings, computer equipment in the amount of $4,300. There is zero fiscal impact.
Discussion. All in favor? Aye. At this time, I call on Legislator Elner, the chairman of the Physical Services Committee.
Thank you, Chairman Yankee. On behalf of my committee, Legislators Castellano and Crowley, first is item 6F, which is the approval of a grant application, CREST grant, and this is for our main office building, ADA compliant bathrooms. We are talking about $200,000 from the New York State Dormitory Authority. There's no matching funds requirement, and this is to place an ADA compliant bathroom on every floor of the building.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 6G is for the approval, ratification of another grant. This is through the NYSERDA Clean Energy Community Program by New York Swims Initiative. And in this case, where it comes for the swims, the funds are going to be utilized to enhance lifeguard training programs for both the county and municipal partners.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye. 6H is for the approval for a sale of carnal tax map number 63 to the next highest bidder from our real property tax sale. There was an issue at the time with the high bidder, and per the rules, regulations, criteria, it's in the best interest that the second low bidder, who owns the adjoining property, be allowed to purchase at his bid of $1,500.
For clarification, the tax map number is 63.-1-6. This is a landlocked parcel that the original bidder had mistakenly bid a number that was not his intent to bid. The neighbor whose property adjoins this was interested in the property, and it's going to that person who was the next highest bidder, and this will take this property, put it back on the tax rolls. It'll be merged with the contiguous property, and something that we'll never see again. So, discussion. All in favor?
Aye. Item 6I is for the approval to to sell 100 Zimmer Road, which is a county property in the town of Southeast, tax map number 45-1-60.
I'd like to make a motion to amend this resolution. Do I have a second? We all have the revised resolution. Thanks.
You have to state the amendment. You have to state the amendment before you move. Call for a second.
The amendment is to bring the property to auction. We have a letter from the county executive dated August 29th. His recommendation is to auction the property with a reserve of $290,000. So I'll make a motion to amend the resolution. I have a second?
Second.
Discussion on the motion to amend.
The motion to amend is very good because it streamlines the process, which is going to allow us to sell the property at the predetermined low bid price. We're starting the auction at $290. This way it can go right to the auction. It doesn't have to go back to committee for the legislature, so we can have the Commissioner of Finance proceed with the auction. I'm all in favor.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Now,
That was for the amendment.
So
now I'd like
That was
to,
to accept it. and then
all right, so that was to accept the revised,
That was to amend the resolution as revised.
to amend the resolution, and now any discussion on the amended resolution? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. At this time, I recognize Legislator Agnusio, the chairwoman of the Rules, Enactments, and Intergovernmental Relations Committee.
Thank you, Legislator Yonke. On behalf of myself, Legislators Elner and Nasarino, I'd like to bring forward 6J. The approval for the County Clerk's Department of Motor Vehicles, DMV mobile equipment, ARPA funding reallocation. A budgetary amendment was made pursuant to Resolution 135 in 2022, where $303,707 was appropriated for the highway infrastructure studies. The county clerk has requested a portion of these funds, which is $31,039, be used to purchase mobile equipment from the New York State Department of Motor Vehicles for Putnam County Department of Motor Vehicles to have more flexibility to process the DMV transactions throughout the county to better serve our county residents. The Commissioner of Finance and County Auditor have reviewed, and the County Executive has reviewed and recommended this reallocation. The Rules, Enactments, Intergovernmental Relations Committee has also reviewed and approved this request. I would like to thank County Clerk Mike Bartolotti for bringing this forward. The equipment that will be used in Putnam County will allow for mobile processing of DMV transactions, and our residents will truly benefit from this project.
Discussion. Legislator Montgomery.
I am really excited about this, and I'd also like to thank the county clerk. This is something that's long been promised from county clerks and different elected officials throughout, my experience in local government. I remember it was DMV services was part of the discussion and promise when the Butterfield project, and many of you were on the legislature during that time. It was sort of one of the things that the county was using to get the Butterfield project in. So I'm hoping that this will translate into services to the west side of the county. $31,039 is not much when you think of the tax dollars that my district continues to send over here. And, this is something, as I said, that's been promised for a long time. So I'm looking forward to seeing it in Phillipstown and Putnam Valley.
Legislator Elmer.
I concur. This is a wonderful idea. It allows DMV to go anywhere in the county. It is fully mobile. But I just want to temper the results because the county clerk said that there's approximately a 1-year lead time on the equipment from New York State. The equipment has to be purchased by New York State. But I'm totally in favor of this so we can service every area of the county, including the western side of the county.
if I can add, maybe there's an opportunity for us to put a little pressure on our state officials to express the need. I know I will be doing that.
Any discussion? I'd like to thank County Clerk Bartolotti for taking this initiative. This is really something that's going to best serve the public here in Putnam County, and I'd like to just recognize him for his hard work and his staff. With that, all in favor?
Aye. Moving on to 6K is the approval for a budgetary amendment, 24A-077, County Clerk, the mobile equipment, ARPA reallocation of $31,039.
Discussion.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye. Moving on to 6L, is a local law to amend the charter of Putnam County by amending Article 8, Section 8.01, entitled Department of Law County Attorney.
I'd like to make a motion to table this agenda item. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you. Any comments? My only comment is we'd like to take this discussion on motion to table. I'd just like to make a comment that we're going to send this back to committee. I'm going to propose an amendment that excludes the current county attorney during this term. All in favor? Aye. Aye. At this time, I recognize Legislator Castellano.
Legislator Crowley is saying she's a no on it. I just, on the table.
Okay. Recognizing Legislator Castellano, the Chairman of the Audit and Administration Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On behalf of Legislators Elmer and Goulman, I'd like to bring forward the following. Item 6M is a fund transfer for the Office of Senior Resources contracts. We're moving $23,040 within our budget here. Zero fiscal impact. This will provide for coverage of the contractor payment through the end of 2024.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 6N is the approval of a budgetary transfer for the Sheriff's Department, Emergency Services, and Social Services, Mental Health, Domestic Terrorism Prevention Grant Program. This is the threat assessment and management teams. 2 part-time threat assessment analysts. There are temporary positions, again, in the amount of $70,000. And fortunately, again, there's no fiscal impact as within the sheriff's budget. We're moving the $70,000 to cover the cost. These 2 employees will be a benefit to the people of Putnam County.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Item number 7 is other business. Item 7A is the approval, authorization for legislators to attend September's New York State Association of Counties Conference. Do I need to make a motion to bring this in?
Yes.
So I'm making a motion to approve this item 7A. Do I have a second?
Include it on the agenda. To add it to the agenda.
Oh, to add it to the agenda.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion on the agenda item? All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion to add item 7B to the agenda. It is the approval to rescind Resolution 177 of 2024 and approve the revised budgetary amendment for DPW, the Fair Street Reconstruction Project. Do I have a second? Second. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Now, any discussion on the agenda item 7B? All in favor? Aye. At this time, I'd like to recognize any member of the public wishing to address the legislature. Please step forward, state your name and the town in which you reside. Seeing no public comment, recognition of legislators. Any legislators wishing to speak? Legislator Nassarino.
I would just like to congratulate all those who are moving into kindergarten and high school and college, and all the children that are returning to school, and all the faculty and staff and bus drivers who help with the kids throughout the year. I wish everyone a safe and joyful school year.
Anyone else? Legislator Montgomery.
I would just like to say a few words because it is also Suicide Prevention Month. And here in Putnam, we are sadly on track to surpass last year's suicide numbers. But thankfully, our social service department is putting measures in place to enhance prevention and post-prevention services. We heard from our social service director, commissioner, just last week about recent numbers of suicide. And I would just like to say we have to address this public health crisis. And we as a legislature have an opportunity to do this during October budget meetings. We can invest in services across the board, across the county, from what we need on every level of our government, of county government, from the sheriff's department, who are usually the first on scene to see these horrific and very traumatic calls, sometimes in the middle of the night, to our social service department and our, boots on the ground people. It's time to remember the lives lost to suicide and really acknowledge the millions more who have experienced suicidal thoughts and the many individuals, families, and communities that have been impacted by suicide. It's pretty prevalent in Putnam right now. It's also a time to raise awareness about prevention and share messages of hope. So I hope we will all do that in September. Thank you.
Anyone else? I'll make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.